Father Miller here. Welcome back. So I put the link to the chat if you want to join me in the chat. I know that there's going to be a few joining me. I know 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser is going to be on. And again, just figure it's a place just to come hang out, see what's going on, and get ready for Friday Night Tights. So we already got a few people in the chat. Chris P, good to see you. Derek, good to see you again. We had fun with the rabbi this morning. Good to see you, Snortopupus. Good to see you as well. So one of the things I was going to share with everybody that I saw was Galaxycon. Galaxycon has these virtual convention type things, and let's see, I'm just trying to resend this. So this is the way that I was able to get my Shatner autograph. You pay, then they can make it out to you. So they're having a Doctor Who event coming up on May. Okay, here we go. So May 9th is classic Doctor Who. And then it looks like the modern Matt Smith, David Tennant era of Doctor Who with Billy Piper and Arthur Darvill and Alex Kingston. Then David Tennant, that's going to be a good one. David Tennant is a little bit expensive, but I think I might be willing to do that. And good to see it, just another. If you want, I threw the link in the stream. So, and again, we got a few people coming. It's just killing time until they get here. So, Gary has, I don't remember who it is that Gary has on tonight. I have not heard of him, but he has an IMDb page, so that's pretty good. Nick Frost is having a signing in June. I forgot that he played Santa in the Doctor Who, the Capaldi era. Let's see, where was it? Oh, it just says Doctor Who. So, but the thing that's nice is they run about $65 for the autographs, and you can let's take a look at this. So, a lot of varieties to choose from, and you can get it certified, or you can have it personalized. Oh, that's interesting. I've not seen that before. Would you like to add a quote or inscription? Looks like that's another $40. Gotta say, that's a good way to make money. And then you can get the JSA Certificate of Authentication, which is what I did, because I wanted to make sure that I could prove it was Shatner's autograph. So, but anyway, let me just shoot a quick text. See if he is still coming. But as I'm doing that, I'll show you the Shatner one, or the David Tennant one. And I gotta say, I'm almost tempted. So, would you be willing to pay $120 for David Tennant's autograph? I'm almost in the era where I think I would. Let me see. Hold on. Oops, one more tweet. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. So, David Tennant, $120 to get an autograph. It's really tempting. So, got the cat right in front of me. She's trying to get my attention. So, but the thing that I find interesting with this is, let's see. Oh, they don't have it on here. Okay, so you could do the classic Who. Cat's getting on my keyboard. Okay, so they have video chats where you could do a 2-minute chat with Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, for 2 minutes. David Bradley, who's portraying the first Doctor, Sylvester McCoy for 2 minutes, and Colin Baker for 2 minutes, and they're all $75, which I don't know. It sounds like it would be interesting. The problem is, what do you say? So, let's see. Snortopoopas says, "Not for me. If I somehow managed to lose it, if I did, you know what I did with the Shatner autograph. I have it framed." And Derek is here. Good to see you. So I have the David Tennant framed. I have Tom Baker. His store was up for a while, and I ended up getting that framed. And that was definitely worth the money to ship and frame. I'm in a Doctor Who mood right now where I am just starting season 16, The Key to Time. I'm enjoying that. I just finished the first story. I've moved on to the second. So, let's see. Yeah. So, other than that, I don't know. I kind of was hoping more people be here, but that's okay. And like I said, there's a few still coming. I just don't know when. And the idea of this is just to kind of do what Gary does with his member stream, just to have people come on and talk. Whatever. So I'm just checking something out first. Okay. So this is now streaming to YouTube, Twitter via Periscope. I just got that connection made today. Soul is here. Leibowitz, Agent to the Stars. Gone with the Wind. Ooh. Yeah, I started to rewatch the Next Generation, and the first season is just cringe. I mean, the graphics and everything, it's not as good as I remember. But as I was telling somebody, watching the classic Who for the first time in 30 years, it's kind of like watching it again for the first time. Because there are some episodes that I remember as a kid that really left a mark on me, where I still remember it from the first time seeing it. And my example would be John Petrie's The Third Doctor's episode Inferno, where he's still grounded to Earth and he's trying to get the TARDIS to go, and he gets trapped in a parallel dimension where everybody is evil and they're drilling into the Earth, try to tap into the thermal core, and basically bad things happen. The other one that I remember as a kid is The Two Doctors, and Derek is here. Good to see you.
Hey, Padre. How are you?
So, good. I was just talking about Doctor Who episodes that I still remember as a kid. So I just mentioned Inferno from Petrie, and The Two Doctors from Baker and Troughton, and it was mostly just because of how odd it was.
Well, funny, I was born in 72, and one of the earliest Doctor Who episodes I remember was Destiny of the Daleks, with the very crappy Dalek props coming across the sandhill and blowing up beside the Magellan spaceship. But that's one sticks in my mind.
Yeah, I remember. I just watched that one recently. They kind of all blow up at the same time, don't they?
Yep. They were basically tints when you look back on it. But whenever you were a child, in 1977 or whatever it was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. So, the other one I remember is Paradise Towers, and that's just because it was an awful story. Sylvester McCoy.
I remember Paradise Towers too. I remember sitting watching that with my sister. We'd got to the stage at that time when we had two televisions in the house. We had one in the sitting room and one in the kitchen. I remember me and my sister sitting watching Paradise Towers in the kitchen because we were both Doctor Who fans. But, it was a strange story.
It was.
Definitely so was.
What time is it in Ireland?
It is just gone 9 o'clock.
Okay.
PM. Basically, depends where you are, but general rule of thumb is we're 8 hours ahead of States. And then with your various times.
Northern Ireland's the same as the Republic?
Aye, GMT, aye. We're all basically.
Okay.
Now you can't do that because we literally you could be standing, and I mean a meter away, from Northern Ireland to the Republic of Ireland, and you just can't have a different time zone. It just doesn't work. It would be silly.
Do they have border security between the two?
No, not nowadays.
Okay. I didn't know if they did or not.
No, it's don't listen to whatever the people's telling you on the news or whatever and trying to make things bad. The island of Ireland gets along perfectly. There's tax differences. And that's the main thing. Like for a long time, fuel, diesel fuel, petrol was cheaper. So everybody went. If you live near the border in Northern Ireland, you went over the border and you bought your fuel up there. There's a lot of higher taxes from the Republic of Ireland on silly things like alcohol or, funny enough, books or magazines. So you get people coming up to the major towns on the border like Strabane and Newry, Enniskillen, and they'll come up and they'll bring the family up and they'll film two shopping trolleys full of stuff, in the supermarket. They'll pay £200 or £300 worth of stuff just to avoid the taxes and wee silly things like alcohol and books and magazines. I mean, the books and magazine things annoys me. It really does, because I see that as an insult in learning. And, it really shouldn't be taxed.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my personal opinion.
The gas thing was similar. So I lived in Philadelphia for 4 years when I was in seminary. And to go to New Jersey, there'd be about a 30-cent price change. Because in Jersey, you don't get to pump your own gas. You have to have somebody do it. And the debate was, can you save enough money by going to Jersey after you pay the bridge toll? Because you got to cross the Delaware River to get across into New Jersey. And that toll was usually $5. But that's been 13 years ago.
Now, well, back in the day, when I worked in Londonderry, and Londonderry is right on the border. And I mean, slip over the border about a couple of 100 meters, there was, gas stations set up. And I filled, and I had a dark blue Golf Mark IV diesel at the time. Diesels were always popular here. And I filled that bugger to the throat, right up. And I got just under 740 miles out of it. So I saved a few quid, shall we say. Yeah,
I got to learn the British money system, how the pounds and quid and shillings work.
Oh, we gave up shillings years ago. Shillings.
Okay.
No, it's a decimal system now. It's just pounds. You have a penny, a 2p, a 5p, 10p, a 20p, a 50p, and a pound coin, and then everything else is paper. £5 note, £10 note, advancing.
So it's kind of like ours then. Penny
the thing was, whenever I was a child, the actual shilling was the size of what they replaced it with, the decimal 5p, and they didn't take them out of circulation. So you could get a shilling the odd time. So you saved them. I have one stashed away. But the thing about the shilling was, in the old days, going back to the 1800s, if you joined the British military, you were paid 2 shillings for joining. A shilling on the drum, as the saying goes. So it was always nice to have one and, have it polished up and keep it, because that was your shilling on the drum.
This game cat's about to jump up. So, well, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser was going to be on. I was hoping Clobbering
Tom would be back. Ian was going to come on too, but he's streaming with Multimedia Minefield, but I think he's going to come over later if he gets a chance.
Okay. Well, I figured we'd probably go for about an hour or so.
Well, it depends what time Gary wants to start.
It depends what time. But, so Rabbi and I, as you know, we're talking about the thing with Noel Clark. Sounds like he's toast.
I only heard about that through Rabbi. I don't place a lot of validity in it, to be honest. He's a youngish man. He was being a youngish man, he maybe said a thing or two. I mean, like, I've done far worse in my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at this point in time, with the evidence I've seen, I genuinely don't believe there's a lot to that story.
Well,
You
we'll
know,
see. As I told him, I really don't know anything that he's done outside of Doctor Who. I know that he's
he's
in.
done a couple of films. He did Kill That Like a Hood, and I haven't actually watched them. He did two sort of young black person in London movies,
Mm,
but they were
well,
popularly acclaimed. And he's
the
directed
one
a
that
lot of stuff.
I yeah, the one that I saw, ITV canceled the show that he's in right now. It was supposed to be the final episode, I think, of Bulletproof or something.
No, I've never seen that now, to be honest.
Okay,
I
well,
don't actually watch TV. I'm a bit like Dan. I don't pay the television license, so I don't
yeah.
actually watch
So
live
does
TV.
the television license only applies to the BBC, right?
Yes.
So you wouldn't have to pay to watch ITV.
No, because ITV is a commercial channel and they pay for
Okay.
themselves through adverts. But
Do you
the
get
way they get
art?
through it, because in law, they have a phrase, a broadcast station or a broadcast receptor, so that even if you're not watching BBC, they'll try and charge you for watching the commercial channels.
Oh, okay.
So I just don't bother.
Okay. What about RTE? Or that's the Irish channel, isn't it?
Aye, Over the Border. RTE is a good show. It used to be better. I
Okay.
used to love the LitLit show on Friday night. You ever see that
No.
with Gay Byrne back in the day? It's not the show it used to be, but
I'll
back
be
in the day,
honest.
I remember my father paying to put an extra aerial on the roof so that him and my mother, and myself and my sister could watch the Late Show with Gay Byrne from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock on RTE1.
Okay.
And Gay Byrne was, Gabriel Byrne. He was a true broadcaster, a true journalist in the truest sense of the word, and he ran a brilliant, I don't know what would you call it. I can't remember the name, but he ran a brilliant, magazine show for Ireland for, I don't know, about 20 years.
Okay.
A genuine journalist. He would have anyone on. And then
Uh
they always had things too, they had the Christmas special, they had the Easter special, and all that there. But no,
I
well,
just checked.
sadly, it's RT's. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's still got a good show on for the Late Show, but it's just not the way it used to be. Used to start with somebody drumming, and then out of the corner there was like this stylized owl flew down, and it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Late Show on RTE."
So Gary's title card is up. Looks like we got about 40 minutes, which technically is about an hour and 20.
About an hour and a half. No, I was chatting
So,
to his guest on Twitter earlier. I'd never heard of the man before, and I pointed out the same. I've never heard of you. I says, don't take it the wrong way, but I'm a fella from a small town in Northern Ireland. He texted back, or tweeted back, give me the thumbs up and see you later sort of thing. So I'd say it'll be a good show.
let's see. Saul's trying to get on. I'm just responding. Yeah, so Saul, it just said that devices are not connected. So I don't know what that is or what all it has to do. But, Snorterpoopus says I'll slip into FNT, immerse myself in the. Yeah. So, how long have you been following Gary?
God, since nearly the start. Well, not the
Okay.
start with him. I've been following Doomcock for about 3 years, and I slipped into Gary from Doomcock, but I've been following from the low thousands anyway.
Okay. I was with him when he had 50,000 subs.
Well, I can't remember exactly. I sort of came in the back door with Gary and Doomcock because I was following the anti-tracker at the time,
Okay.
and he started following Doomcock, and that's how I sort of came in. I followed Doomcock, and I went from Doomcock to Gary, and then we're
Uh,
talking back in the day. Now it's a couple of years ago, and whenever certain people had their Twitter open, so I sent messages to the likes of the Critical Drinker. It says,
okay.
"Yo, you need to stream with Gary Nedrotic and Doomcock, and what can we say? A legend was born."
Yeah. Yeah, I think I gotta be honest, I think part of the reason he succeeds is his accent.
Which one now, Gary or
No,
Doomcock?
Critical Drinker.
Critical Drinker.
Because,
Go away now.
well, everything sounds better with a Scottish accent.
No, he's a star. He definitely is. But the thing is, the Critical Drinker, he has the credits. Do you understand? He's a published author with 6 books behind him.
Yeah,
And
I
you
heard of
understand, whenever
that.
you watch his videos, you can see that's constructed. Not in a
Yeah.
bad way, but the language and everything's constructed perfectly,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no,
to get his point across.
no, he's very good. He's good with the video editing, too.
I don't get me wrong, I love the persona as well, the drunken Scotchman.
Oh, yeah.
But, definitely he's a star. He's going to go far. He's got, what, over 300,000?
Yeah.
Over 300,000 subscribers now in less than a
I think
year.
he might have more. Let me see.
Not too shabby.
No. And I actually gained about 20 extra this week because I was at the unholy number. He's at
Yes, you were.
he's at 700
I saw that.
he's at 780,000.
Over 750,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, he's exploded pretty much. Let's see.
No, well, the thing is, I don't know if you remember, but if you go back, he does a video. He's criticizing one of the Jodie Doctor episodes, and he does guest appearances from Strech and Gary. And every time I see that, the tears run down my face laughing.
Yeah. I know Gary's going
You
to
seen
have
that one?
I don't remember. I remember, I mean, there were a lot of the reviews that Bowles Truck was on. And I haven't talked to Bowles Truck in a while. I should probably shoot him a text.
He's very busy. He works in the
Oh,
banking sector, and with
yeah.
everything that's going on,
Yeah. So.
he's just been run off his feet, basically.
Oh, I
Yeah,
believe
that's the way
it.
it was last time I spoke to him.
I believe it.
No,
I mean, I have the time to be able to do this since I'm not teaching high school right now.
I know that's a funny thing. I always wondered what a priest does through the week.
Well,
You know?
it depends. I mean, I'm in 3 small parishes, so I have a lot of free time because there's not that many people. Now,
Aye, but 3 small parishes for you. I mean, what square mileage is that covering? I mean, that's not covering
60,
what 3 small
it's
parishes in Northern Ireland would cover.
it's 30 miles to get from parish A to parish C.
Yeah. Now, see, where I live, I can walk out the door.
Yeah.
There's an old garden that belongs to the town, and then I go into the chapel that belongs to Father McKillen, and and that's his parish. And then if I walk on, a bit further, about a mile, there's what we call the new chapel, which is over 25 years old. There's another padres running that, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, when
And that's
I
a
was
small town with about 20,000 people.
Well, my first parish I was an assistant at was about 1,000 people. And I was teaching high school for a little bit over 3 hours every day. Then marriage preps, CCD, catechism for the kids, youth group. So, I mean, there was a lot to do in the bigger parish.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I wasn't mocking you or anything.
No.
I was just sort of saying that.
I know. It's just, right.
People don't understand. They see a priest or a padre, and they say, "Oh, you turn up on Sunday and do your business."
Yeah.
There's, 100% more behind that than what you actually, you know.
Oh,
'Cause I
yeah.
know that from, you know, dealing with Fowler McKinley, because just because I live close to Fowler McKinley, you know, I meet him in the street, you know, I meet
Mm.
him in the shop, you know, and, you know, we talk to each other and we converse, if you know what I mean. But, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
but you get
Yeah.
people that just sort of says, oh, there's a priest. He turns up on Sunday and does the mass, waves his hand about a couple of times and goes away again. But I mean, like, obviously that's not true.
Mm.
You know, you're
Yeah.
doing more
No.
than that.
No. Today, tomorrow, I actually got to remind myself I have 2 baptisms tomorrow.
Oh, that's good.
Almost.
Another
Yeah,
wee
that is
one, as
good.
we
I
say
almost
here.
forgot about that. Okay.
Another wee one.
Got 2 of them tomorrow. So, let me see. I better make sure I remind myself. So, yeah, so we got about 9 people watching. Like I said, the link is in the chat if you want to join.
Now everybody jump in. I remember a good story
So,
about baptism. Now, as you know, fella, I'm Church Ireland, which is basically
right,
Catholic in with some slight variants. But a
right.
friend of mine from the Navy retired here, came over. His wife got pregnant, they had a baby. Well, now you're talking 23 years ago, because he's just slightly older than my oldest, Nathan. So he got christened in our church. And Gary had took up a job, you know, as a policeman here because of his experience in the military. And whenever they went for the christening, he was getting dressed and putting on a suit and all. So he put his revolver into his pocket. And his wife, Kathy, turned around and she says, what do you think's going to happen at the baptism? That you're going to need that? Do you think the priest's going to do something to the baby?
Yeah. I haven't had anything like that.
Oh, no, it was funny. He used to come over to me too whenever they went away. The police told him, you have to keep your weapon safe, should be
Mm-hmm.
locked away, but they wouldn't give them money, you know, to buy a gun safe or whatever. So he used to, whenever he was going away for a weekend or whatever, Kathy used to come over, leave it in my house. And as you walked in my house, there was a corridor. You went into the kitchen and we had a big double wardrobe. Or not a wardrobe, a closet, you would call it. You know, we kept our food and all in it. He would just set it on the top of the, you know, I just left it there. It didn't bother me. But there was one time in the summer, he'd been away. And my father came over. And my father was doing gardening. God love the man. He's passed away now. But whenever he was gardening, it didn't matter if the sun was splitting the stones. He had this brown jacket he wore and a green woolly hat. So he came to the door and he says, Derek, I need to borrow your lawnmower or whatever it was he needed. I says, that's grand. It's over at Gary's. And I says, we'll go over and get it. And I says, by the way, and I reached up and I grabbed the revolver. Now, my father was an ex-policeman. And I says, stick that in your pocket. And I says, don't fuck around with it. It's loaded. So he cracked it open and he saw the, you know, the 6 shells on it. He says, it is loaded. So he went over to Gary's house, you know, to pick up the lawnmower or whatever. And my father says, here, and take this. He says, and put it away somewhere safe. And Gary says, oh, I forgot where I left it.
Oh, gee.
So you get casual with these sort of things.
I gotta mention the comment from Snortopoopas. Yeah, I've learned over the last year that unless you send it at the very beginning of the chat, or when his thing goes live, it probably won't be read.
Well, I have to admit, I'm the person that sent the snort of poopus super chat last week, because the week before, snort of poopus sent one on his own name, and Gary couldn't pronounce the names. He says, I'm not going to say that. So I sent a wee super chat in, and I says, snort of poopus a Pooh Bear is a polar bear nerd.
Yeah, I think I remember.
But I haven't
that.
watched the whole way through from last week to see if
Yeah.
Gary mentioned it or not. No, but
So.
you know, once I agree with you. Once a channel gets a certain size, you're wasting your time. It's, you know, it's $500 super chats or $100 super chats.
No, and I'm
Whatever.
happy for him.
I'm not
very happy
criticizing.
for
No,
him. Right.
happy days. No, 100%. He put the work in. He's got it. But you know, for small people like me and you, wait for a nooner and stick in a hot dog or.
Well,
You know,
that's the thing I like about being one of the members, because he has the member stream on Sundays. And it's just a chance to be able to actually do what we're doing right now with him.
No, don't get me wrong. I love Gary.
No,
That's
no, I
Gary's a
know,
genuine person.
I know, and like I said, I'm beyond excited for him because I mean, like I said, I started following him when he
There's
had
no
50.
way any man on God's green earth could keep up with a chat on Friday Night Tights. I
Oh
don't
no,
even know how he does
not
it with a
anymore.
producer.
It
It's
used
just
to
bang,
be.
bang,
It
bang,
used to
bang, bang. It's
be. I think it used to be like he had maybe less than 1,000 on a Friday night stream.
he's got 5,000, 5,500, 7,500
Yeah,
every
yeah,
Friday.
That's
good. I got
Fair
Rockstar
play to him.
numbers.
He deserves it.
yeah. Ironcaster and Soul. Good to see you guys.
Hey
Hello.
there.
I'm going to have
Oh
to
my.
put this up on the big screen because I can't see in the phone.
You got to
Yeah,
remember,
okay.
5 to 7,000 people. That's a small arena. That's
Yeah.
Rockstar. And
Well,
I actually have something to show you. Oh, get a little bit.
okay.
I have a little
Let
something
me-
to show you, Father.
let me. Oh, we got just another here. Okay.
I got my trade-in
Oh!
finally.
So yeah, I was showing Rabbi. Okay, so
This is the collected trade,
oh, the original, the original, the
collected
animated
edition, all
cast.
4 or 5
Okay.
issues.
So this one I was showing him too. I don't know if you have this one.
Ooh. No, I haven't seen that yet.
It's actually not bad.
Actually, this was a big comic week for me.
Did you get Berserker or whatever it's called?
No, not yet. I might have to go try and order it online. I did, however, get a new couple of Epic collections.
Oh, nice.
Got my Venom. Got the collection for Batman Judge Dredd.
Okay.
Great art in it, by the way.
Let me grab the one that I got.
Oh,
Nice. That is good artwork.
I was a little late for the real BBC last week with this, but I did just get my copy of Kingdom Come.
Okay. So this is the one that came with Berserker 2. This is Something is Killing the Children. This is the 8th print of the first copy. And this was only given to those that bought the first and the second. So you can't buy this at the store. You have to have bought the first 2 comics, and then you get this. So I'm going to send this thing to get slabbed, because I'm seeing this thing sell on eBay for like $20 already.
And then I have one last collection.
Oh, nice.
The second one, so it's like 19 through 32.
So, did you see the new Namor that Gary was showing?
That hurts. That hurts. I was always
That
an
has to
X-Men
be a
guy.
joke.
Oh,
That,
it seems like they're trying to out-gay Iceman with every design.
just say it, Ironcast. It's fabulous. Fabulous.
I was just thinking the men on film from In Living Color. Hated it.
That one gets 2 snaps and our capes are flying.
Oh,
I'm gonna
they
need
couldn't
some more
do
root
that
beer.
today. They couldn't do that today.
I'm near SpaceX, so I was going to go down there, but they scrubbed the flight. So you got me for the next 10 minutes.
Oh, good.
I'm going to try to get some video of it. I keep missing him.
Oh, so they're launching today then.
They scrubbed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be from where you're at right now, Father. That's why I know so much about you.
Okay.
Mwah.
Okay. Well,
Just to say
I
my
don't
father.
I don't live in Iowa anymore.
No, my father's from Gordon. If that makes any difference, that name should mean something to you.
Not really.
Oh,
You got to remember, my diocese is basically the southern part of our state.
yeah.
And unless it's in the southern part of the state, I don't
Okay.
recognize it.
So it's not in T-Town or SB or any of those. Yeah.
So, 32 flavors. Are you going to pop on? Let me put the link in the chat again. Whoops.
Yeah, I've got about 10 more minutes, Father, because...
I have to say that the sheer size of the United States always makes me sort of laugh, ironically. The guy was talking to somebody on YouTube earlier today, and they were moving 2,500 miles. As I said to them, I could drive from the Atlantic Ocean to the Irish Ocean, or Irish Sea and back 20 odd times, and I wouldn't run up 2,500 miles. But for them, it was just, you know, a cross-state visit, basically. Now, I was lucky enough, the fella says that I lived in Iowa for a month, you know, on an exchange program
right.
whenever I was 16. And even whenever we flew into the regional airport to the place we were going, it was nearly a 4-hour drive. You know, in a 4-hour drive nowadays, I could drive from one end of Ireland to the other.
Well,
Nick Weiser has appeared.
That's
Yes.
right. A wild Nick Weiser appears loud and clear. How are you, gentlemen? This is a
Great.
fine panel of human beings here.
I was just
Rogues
showing
Gallery.
this.
Oh, yeah. Nice, dude.
I'm sending that to get graded.
Nice. Do it. Do it. Make
look
all
at
the
eBay.
money.
Look at how much it's going for on eBay.
Oh, I saw. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I'm like, oh, man.
The funny thing is, I actually have a first print of the first edition.
Oh, yeah. I remember you mentioned that. You should get some sweet dough off of that. That's cool.
You know, I didn't expect that when I bought it. I mean, the comic book store guy recommended it to me, so I bought it and been going with it ever since.
Wow. See, isn't it funny how that happens just like that? That's...
Yeah. I mean, for those watching or don't know about it, this is Something is Killing the Children, printed by Boom Studio. It came out 2 years ago. On eBay, the first edition, the first print is selling for at least 300 ungraded and 600 for graded.
Yeah, it's hot. It's red hot. And Boom is on an uptick, and good for them because they actually are having stuff that's like, and obviously Berserker came out this week as well, and that was killer. And I've been reading their Power Rangers book, which I always liked the original Power Rangers, but I never went beyond it as far as the TV shows went. But, you know, after watching all the Yellow Flash videos about him raving about, I'm like, no, I'll go on a limb and check it out. And I started checking out the recent run, which started 6 issues ago. I'm like, oh, this is killer. I need to check out more. And I see he's got another book called Mighty Morphin as well. It looks like Ironcaster's got some comics to show off.
Just got to pick up the new Dune.
Oh,
I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
I did not
Honestly,
know
I'm jumping
about
into
that.
it. I know it's supposed to be an adaptation of the House Atreides novel, but yeah.
Oh.
What issue is that for?
6.
6. Okay.
Because I did pick up number 1 recently.
Which I like that in the back too.
Yeah, I like that too, and I love the paper on Boom Comics. I love the paper. For me, that like makes me alone, like I said, because it's really strong paper. I'm like, oh man, you guys actually put in some money for this stuff. So nice.
That was one of the first things I noticed.
What is amazing, I looked at the comic book store on Wednesday. Geiger number 1, they jacked up the price to $9.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that right away. I knew that was gonna be hot. I mean, it's a big deal when you have Jeff Johns, who was a leading force in DC Comics for like 2 decades, if not almost. Especially, he revitalized the Green Lantern franchise, revitalized Barry Allen, and then you got him now doing an Image book, which is a big deal because he's been very vocal about how 99% of his collection of comics is DC. So for him to step on DC, it just tells you how bad things have gotten DC. For where even Jeff Johns, who's like basically the king of DC, is just like, I'm over this guy. He's over it.
Just another red shirt if you want to try testing your mic.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear. You're
Okay.
perfect.
Loud and clear, buddy.
Yeah, I've only got a few more minutes. I'm going to have to run around, do some things before I get in the chat for Friday Night Tights. And once I get in that, I'm not going to be able to get out of this seat for at least a half an hour. As I said in the chat earlier, once I surface in the Friday Night Tights chat, I am busier than a one-armed paper hanger for 20 to 30 minutes trying to keep up with all the hails.
Yeah, just the hails alone. Oh, dude.
Exactly.
Just 15 minutes alone.
And imagine after about 10, 20 minutes, I have something, I've already said hello to something like 100 people, and I'm trying to remember who they were so I don't say hello twice.
I'll get on early and just say hail.
I'll get people, even if I don't say hello to people on my own accord, I would still be busy saying hello to the people who say hi to me. So no, like there's no but not with a wrench. There's no getting around having to say hello a whole lot.
Maybe Vosh will stop by. You'll have to kick it. You and Eric Hale will have to work on kicking him out again.
Well, it would be a pleasure. If his fans are any indication, it would be a pleasure.
Oh, dude.
Well, I was telling Derek earlier, it was kind of nice in the beginning when you could actually get your comments read on his stream without having to send a super chat.
Right.
But
yeah,
I mean,
but
again, I'm beyond happy for his success.
Yeah, it gets busy. I mean, people have commented multiple times on streams recently, including X-Ray Girl in the member stream. You know how hard it is to read the chat, and I'm like, welcome to my world. I have to find the odd, troublemaker in that continuously moving stream. Yeah.
One question, just one registered. You're in Texas too?
Yes.
North or south?
Central.
Okay.
Pretty much right in the middle.
Okay, so like San Antonio?
North of. I'm between. I'm not far from Waco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm down near Brownsville.
No, okay. One trick to remember with any of the chats, if it starts to get away from you and you see something scroll off the top, is just grab it and pull it down. And if you scroll it down from its continuous ad, it will freeze for you. So you can scroll back up in the chat and it will just sit where you put it. So you can find something somebody said, reply to them, and then hit the down arrow and it'll start scrolling again. And that's the only way I can find things people have said to me, because they go whipping. All I see is this orange box go screaming by, and I go, wait a minute, go find that.
Yeah, I kind of given up on the chat. I mean, I'm in there, but it just gets to be too much.
Yeah,
I follow a few, Bigfoot, paranormal channels.
Okay.
And there's a moderator, Cashy, Gesundit.
I've just been summoned. I've just got the DM from Eric K, so I'm going to have to say so long. And I'll see you on Friday Night Tights in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, Richard. Be well, dude.
But I'll tell you what, she's the moderator from, well, I'm not going to say from hell, but she's the moderator. Like, anybody misbehaves, says bad words or whatever, just snap. She's bang straight in.
Who, Krista?
It's on the
X-Ray.
Oh, X-Ray. Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually talking about on all our sites. Yeah, a girl called Cashy.
I'm hoping we can figure out where the get-together is going to be at, or at least
for Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, we should absolutely I don't know about you guys, but I definitely want to do zip lining again. I don't know if you've ever done it before, but doing zip lining in Vegas, is
over the city.
Yeah,
over the old part of the city is awesome. That's
super fun.
Father, that will be the closest you get to being a superhero.
I think I'm a little too big for it. I actually was debating renting a car to go see the Hoover Dam in the Grand Canyon.
Ooh, that sounds fun, actually. I like the sound of that.
That's the best way
sounds
to
like
do
it's
it.
I'd like to see you on the tables, fella. Flicking
Oh,
out the cards
no.
for 21.
No. Last thing I need is the prisoners thinking I'm using the church money in Vegas.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I know I
It
am.
was only if you watch Father Ted, it was only arrested.
Oh, I
when
love
you were
Father
out.
Ted. Now, I can say none of those guys would be in active ministry in real life.
Oh yeah.
Well, especially Father Dougal.
Father Ted's brilliant.
Father Dougal would not be ordained. One of the
That
things you
would
have to
be
do.
an ecumenical matter.
Ecumenical, yes. So I usually show the sisters the one where Father Jack sees the nuns and starts screaming nuns,
Drink!
reverse, reverse, reverse.
Drink!
So,
Drink!
yeah. Are you guys
The
familiar with Father
gobshites
Ted?
on TV!
That was the BBC show.
Yeah, about the
Okay,
three priests
I've
on
seen
the
like
next
an
out.
episode here or there.
Okay. I mean,
Oh, it's a classic. It's a classic in the UK and Ireland. Everybody knows it. What's the one, the famous one? I hear you're a racist now,
Yes.
Father Ted.
Oh,
Yeah.
Should we all be racist now, Father Ted?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Who's
You have to watch
racist
it.
now? Who's racist now?
No, it's a parody on a small village and how a
Oh, okay.
story gets
okay.
around very quickly.
Okay.
And the
I
poor
thought you
man,
meant someone
the
else's.
priest comes out, he makes a faux pas with Chinese people, comes out of his front door
Let me see.
and
Okay.
calling the farmers in the next field, and he says, I hear you're a racist now, Father Ted. Should we all be racist now,
okay.
Father Ted?
Okay.
What's the church's opinion on
Yeah, I'll
racism?
bring it up. I'll bring it up, even though I'll have to.
It's hilarious. It really is. It's a classic. It's up there with Father Brennan getting kicked up the arse, or Bishop Brennan.
The arse. I like that.
So-
What country are you from, Derek?
Northern Ireland.
Oh, you're from
I live in
Ireland.
my
Oh,
body.
cool. Nice.
Have you ever heard the song Danny Boy?
Oh yes.
Probably. I'm sure. Oh, yes. Of course. Yes.
Pipes are calling.
But I live in the song where that town was set to music.
Hmm.
And Jane Ross that did it is buried in my church graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go.
I am Chinese, if you
Then we'll get to the other part.
Oh, that is amazing. Right off the bat.
Handle yourself. Good, good. I hear you're a racist now, Father. What? How did you get interested in that type of thing? Who said I'm a racist? Everyone's saying it, Father. Should we all be racist now? What's the official line the church is taking on this?
Oh, man.
Sadly, he died the day after they filmed the last episode.
Oh, what? Oh, that's
He's only 43 as well.
Yeah.
Young man.
Oh, youngin'. True youngin'.
Well, maybe
Wow.
we should mock the priesthood.
You
No,
know?
I love Father Ted. I mean, it's just, as a priest, I can find the humor in it because I know it's not serious.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no,
It's dated now, Father Miller, but what always made me laugh in Father Ted was the telephone line when the priests could talk to each other.
Oh yes.
And the young ragamuffins was ringing in. You're not actually priests. Go away.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think. Going back to comics, what's coming out next week?
Ooh, good question.
Let me think
See, I'll
here.
I'm gonna bring up my list.
I do read this one from Kirkman called Firepower. It's a martial arts book. It involves a family. It's actually a family of martial arts. The main guy is Owen, and it's drawn by Chris Samney, who's basically like a Darwin Cook type of like a rougher version of Darwin Cook. That book's actually good. It's on its 11th issue, and Samney, like, as even just some guy says, like, as psychotic as he is, Mark Waid can write a good story, even though he's written some bad ones. But during the time when Samney was working with Waid, they did a really killer Black Widow story. But Waid didn't really write so much as Samney did, because most of the book was dialogue free, and you just got to see Natasha Romanoff being awesome and just basically being female James Bond. It's a really cool book, especially just to look at. Like, it's almost like looking at the art is reading the story. So I would, if I had to ever like bite my tongue and recommend a more recent Mark Waid story, it'd probably be that Black Widow book. But I don't want to give money to that guy ever again. But if I had to, it would be that book, because it really is good.
It looks like I have nothing coming up this week.
Don't think of it as giving money to Mark Waid. Think of it as giving money to the artist.
Oh, of course. And now he's with Kirkman on Firepower. Yeah. And he's on Firepower, and he's been on the book consistently too. Like, they must have planned this out, because they're on 11 issues, and they uniquely started with an entire trade paperback before they went into #1, which had all original material. And the trade paperback was the volume 1. It was around 150 page of original material, and then #1. So yeah, and there's not been a single skip month. And in modern comic book lore, that's like insane, where there's not a different artist, because usually in order to do it, they have to skip a month or two. And Image usually does that. They like to skip a month or two, but they've not skipped. Firepower's been out consistently since July of last year. I would recommend, if you haven't looked into it, Father.
I will. I'm trying to figure out why this thing is going back. Okay, let me try this again. Hold on.
Looks like... if I could, real quickly, I'm going to bounce out of here.
Okay.
Thank you, Father, so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Mr. McManus, you make me want to go pull out my Stiff Little Fingers. If you ever heard of Stiff Little Fingers, one of my favorite bands.
Oh, I've heard of Stiff Little Fingers.
I recommend them to everybody. Best band from Northern Ireland in my book. Father, thank you so much. Everybody enjoy Friday Night Tights. See you later.
Oh, we shall. It's going to be excellent.
I was going to say, one of my favorite Irish bands is Saw Doctors.
I've seen the Saw Doctors live. Saw them live in Derry.
Snort a poopus.
I used to love you. I used to love her once.
Yep.
Oh, too funny. Too funny.
You have my attention with Claremont.
Oh yeah, right, Claremont. I'll admit, as far as Star Trek goes, I'm a bit of a normie. I not really know much of it. No, I've seen some of the old Trek, and it was cool. I just never looked deep into it. But if anyone can find new Trek that could be good, that's a miracle in itself.
I've been reading Year 5, and it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little. I'm not a big fan of Sulu. I mean, Sulu's a little woke in it.
Not shocking.
It sounds like it's ending its run. I think the final issue is coming out next month. But
oh yeah.
Anyway, I ordered this one. I have it pre-ordered.
All right, and then that's called from IDW. I realize, since we're on the subject of IDW, have you read The Last Ronin from Ninja Turtles?
No.
I highly recommend it. I mean, if your shop can get a hold of 1 and 2, they're like these big books. And CIC, that's kind of perfect for the subject. The Last Ronin is $8 or $9.99, like this Star Trek book, and it's a big book and a lot of art too. And it's on its 3rd issue. It's its own limited series, so you don't have to really know the Ninja Turtles well. But if it's one of those things, but if you do know it, obviously you'll get a bigger bonus. But you can just jump in and start. Even Gary mentioned on the stream that he's not a huge Ninja Turtles fan, but he read it and he says it's epic. So coming for him, he's a normie in that aspect, and he really digs it. I would highly recommend the last one. Lots of action, and of course it's definitely not woke at all, which is a big bonus. So, and it's definitely like oh, on one, it's like a future type of timeline too. I think it's Oh, I can't say. Never mind. I can't say the Ninja Turtle involved. I can't say for mystery's sake. But I recommend The Last Ronin.
Okay.
Yes.
I just looked through their catalog not too long ago for IDW, Boom, Black Horse, Marvel, DC. I didn't add any subscriptions.
See, so far I'm actually seeing like 4 titles next week I'll be picking up.
And which ones?
There are 2 Transformers titles.
Okay.
The ongoing, and I guess there's a mini series that I'm just gonna go pick up issue 3 of that and jump into it. Gold Diggers has a new issue out, or Gold Digger, Antarctic Press, which is one I've had a lot of fun with. And I think there was one more, but I can't seem to find it now.
If you know of Scotty Young as well, he's a very talented writer and artist. He had a really cool story at Image called Middle West. If you were to read a Marvel book, I would recommend Strange Academy. Apparently, even Just Some Guy's a fan of it too, and he's basically the critical drinker of comic books. Yeah, Strange Academy surprisingly is good. Like I had a friend borrow me a trade that he bought, and I surprisingly really dug it. And if you like Humberto Ramos's art, I mean, people are very 50-50 on his art. I personally love it. I know his style is not for everybody because it's very cartoony, but I really dig it. And especially since he's dealing with like magic and sorcerers, he's also dealing with, teenagers trying to learn how to harness their powers and trying to work together because they're all kids who are outcasts. So now they actually had to learn how to be friends. So there is surprisingly some positive life lessons for them to learn how to work together. So, and there's even some like Romeo and Juliet moments too. It's pretty surprising. And Scotty Young has a thing for writing stories on teenagers very well and putting them in a positive light. Something to at least keep your ear out for. Strange Academy. That's all.
He's written some things I've liked, like Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows.
Scotty Young.
He worked on it.
I thought that was Dan Slott. I know Scotty Young did he did Middle West with Jorge Corona on Image. That was 18-issue series. And then he also did I Hate Fairyland, which is basically this little girl living in this like fantasy world, and she's like super crazy. It's very bombastic. I Hate Fairyland's fun. He did the writing and the art for that. He did, however, do a book on Rocket, the raccoon from Guardians, about 2014. That was 2014.
I did subscribe to that. I did subscribe to Rocket.
Yeah, he did the original. He did the art himself the first 4 or 5 issues, and then he did that. Then he jumped off because he was focusing on Image. So I was actually surprised when he went back to Marvel. And he Scotty Young too. On top of it, he's a pretty chill dude. All he usually posts about on his Twitter is his art, and he's always doing like covers that shows off his little like kid designs because he always draws characters like their little bobbleheads. So he's got a fun art style.
I was gonna say the last Spider-Man that I bought was the series they did his life story. So it was like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, Chip Zdarsky. That was actually good. Chip Zdarsky, surprisingly, like he shows it when he actually can write a story. If there's one modern Marvel guy who can write, it's Chip Zdarsky. Because between that and Daredevil, he's actually shown that he can, respect the lore of characters and also pick up from previous continuities. Because it seems like there's a big problem where a lot of modern writers kind of just want to do their own thing and just go from there. But Zdarsky has always acknowledged characters from other eras, and that's cool. That's how it should be. You got to respect where the lore came from and then push your way forward. And it seems like that's a very rare trait nowadays. It's kind of unfortunate. But Life Story was killer.
Yeah, the one that I do regret was Spider-Geddon.
I saw a few pages of that at a shop. And I'm like, I'll pass on this one.
I tried to cancel that, but it was too far along, so I had to get it.
I'm so sorry to hear.
I think JJ did that one.
Oh, no.
His son?
No, there was one that I got that had that was done by JJ, which Wasn't that good.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That one, I think it was just called Spider-Man. It was a 5-issue miniseries. I
Right.
knew that was gonna be an abomination the minute it was announced because I'm like, oh, he and his son are involved. This is gonna be a problem. And surely enough, not only it ended up being a problem in more ways than one. One of them was obviously I saw. God, I looked at a copy at the shop. I'm like, oh, this doesn't look good. But then all of a sudden, issues 3, 4, and 5 were all delayed like between 3 to 6 months each. So clearly, there was not a set direction.
Yeah, I made the mistake of getting that.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
But I don't know. Ironcaster, I was subscribed to the Fantastic Four, the recent run, and I just canceled it recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I started reading that. I think I read up to the wedding of Ben Grimm,
Mm-hmm.
and then I dropped it for whatever reason.
Probably for the best. Dan Slott is, if there's one guy who's like the personification of evil at Marvel, it's Dan Slott. Oh man, that guy. He is. It's one of those things where you would think in a normal world, when you trash the fans the way you do, hey, hold up. That reminds me. I'll be right.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, his I heard Nick
stream
mention he
in
was
so
reading
that
through
we
some
can
of this
know how
stuff.
much time we have.
Oh yeah, that's
Because we're
fine.
getting up to that time.
Vamp, feller, vamp.
What? What was that?
I like that Ed Corona in the chat there. I'll
Oh.
be back in 45 when they actually go live.
Yeah.
At this point, we just use a Nerdrotic as an increment of time.
Dude, you and me both, man.
I heard
A
you
wizard.
on, I think like Clobbering Time talking about how you were starting to read a bunch of it in preparation for a
Fantastic Four stream, because I've read those issues before from the Lee and Kirby run, but I've been rereading and rebuying.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, see that's where it's at. Those big collected editions get to read some stories that right out the bat you're like, okay, I know I'm gonna feel good. I'm gonna get entertained. I want to start doing punches in the air. I want to feel like Chuck Norris. It's gonna be great.
Well, I'm hoping they'll print another volume. This only goes up to 19.
Oh, what is it? Volume 1?
Yeah.
Okay, there'll probably be a volume 2. It'd be crazy.
Yeah,
if they
but this
did it.
came out
ooh, is that a cyber frog I see?
almost 2 years. Oh, Cyberfrog.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. That reminds me, isn't he shipping out soon for the Cyber Frog stuff?
He just got the bags in like today, I guess.
Oh yeah, because I
for
am
the warts and all.
Yeah, for the it was the Blood Huddy campaign.
Mhm.
Okay.
Whatever that last campaign was for it.
I can't keep track. I subscribe for the warts and all, and as I told him, I know nothing about Cyberfrog, so I mean, it's hard for me to buy an issue and jump into it.
I was fortunate enough to be able to get one of the executive boxes.
Ooh, the honeycomb? Oh
Yes.
no, that's
No,
a separate Cyber Frog set.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the honeycomb box.
Yeah, I was too.
Nice. So now I'm getting like 2 Cyberfrog PVCs and a Salamandroid.
Nice.
Oh, you got the cards.
Dude.
Oh, you got one.
Oh wow.
I don't have one yet.
I backed. What did I back recently? I backed Broken from Kenneth Rocafort.
Ooh.
And yeah, that actually looked really cool. He's doing the writing and the art for that. That looked really cool. I think his campaign shut down for that, but he's a talented artist. He did really cool stuff from Marvel and DC. So he did Groken. And I backed Ninja Blast from Fatal J as well. The
I still
YouTuber
have not
Fatal
done that one
J.
yet. Of course.
That looked cool because it's more anything. One time I hear martial arts, I'm like, okay, Tell me more. Where is it?
I'll bring up the one that
Where's the
I
trigger?
love to support.
There's the
I
fucking-
want to support this one, but the price is $90 for 3 comics.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
definitely
the
not
art-
cheap.
The art is amazing.
It looks amazing.
I just started watching some Charlie Chan movies. Or
Oh,
yeah,
better do it while it's still there.
yeah.
I'm trying to think if I should probably put a food video under entertainment and not what's it called, the comedy. But I wish I could put them under too, because I'm putting up a food video while I'm chatting with you guys. I did a chicken sandwich video at Culver's. I don't know if you got Culver's
Oh, yeah, yeah,
out by any of you guys, but they have I've been on a chicken sandwich video streak, and I'm keeping it going. I'm like, I might see what their chicken sandwich is like as well. So.
By the way, spoiler: the new one from McDonald's, the new chicken sandwich from McDonald's is trash.
Oh, is it?
Oh, like
Of
I got
course.
spoiled after that KFC one. Like I got that one. That KFC,
KFC
that's that
one was
big,
actually
big,
good.
big chicken breast. Oh,
Yeah, KFC one's actually good. I almost feel like I need to do the McDonald's one just for video purposes, just so I could say I did it. But dude, I was surprised at the KFC one. I'm like, wow, this is actually decent. Like, I feel like the one area that they lacked short in was the bread. Like, the bread was still good because gluten is awesome, but it was just like the Popeyes just did it better with the bread. But no, the sauce is great, and there's a good amount of it too, and it's basically comparably priced to Popeyes for obvious reasons. They want to compete and fight fire with fire. But yeah, I was really happy with the chicken sandwich.
Well, I've been doing keto for the last 8 months, so no bread for me.
Oh, hey, well, it's interesting you mentioned that. A buddy of mine has a channel you might want to be interested. It's called Keto Simple. Let me see if I can dig the link for you. But he's strictly a keto diet type of guy.
I'm enjoying it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm eating a lot of bacon and eggs.
Oh,
a lot of cheese.
That's awesome.
I saw it's
And
done
I've
wonders
dropped-
for Sargon.
Well, I've dropped 40 pounds.
Nice. Dude, that's awesome. Okay, I found my buddy's channel. Just something you might want to, remember. Like I said, he's a good friend of mine. I've known him for like 10 years. I'm going to send it to you in the private chat. And
Okay.
he posts video, and he was a big man, like a pretty big man. Now he's been on this thing for, God, a year and a half now, maybe 2 years even. And he stuck with it, which is cool. He stayed the course. He didn't just do it, lost weight, and then let go of himself. He really stuck with it. And there's something to respect about anyone who can turn their life around like that. But yeah, Keto Simple.
Yeah, I just subscribed.
Awesome.
But, no, as I told a priest friend, it's basically a lifestyle change.
Oh yeah, it totally is. You gotta change your habits.
And I mean, I love pasta.
Oh, I love pasta.
I went nuts, so I got to go to Rome for the first time 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just ate so much over there. And I actually lost 12 pounds.
Oh.
Because
Well,
my
that
Fitbit
sounds
said
good.
I walked about 90 miles in 9 days.
Oh wow. Well,
help.
that balances out. That balances out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Padre.
could lose just as much weight
Go-
getting
go
food
to
poisoning.
Dublin.
So, are we gonna eat pizza in Vegas or no?
I will. I'm going off
Okay,
keto
you'll-
for that.
Oh yes, because we're so gonna eat.
Because I got to get some beer.
Oh, I found a few good ones, so we'll make sure you get some good stuff. It looks like Foul Ball's been stepping up his beer game too. So I'm like, we're gonna have some knowledge to go around. Ooh, it's gonna be good.
So I just went and filed my taxes.
Oh,
Which, yeah, that hurt. It was like 160 to file. I owe the federal $80, and then the state is giving me back like 100 something, meaning that now I can start putting things together for Vegas. And wow, I'm getting really washed
at
out.
least you can do it now.
Well, you see, I booked the trip through Delta Vacations for the get-together in December. And when that got canceled, I was able to get a voucher refund. So I have to use it. So I pretty much got it set up for Vegas. The problem is, where do you stay? I mean, I'm looking at Four Queens because there's no resort fees.
Oh yeah, it's amazing how those fees add up. Because I stayed
then-
at Go ahead.
I was also thinking maybe staying at Rio because that's where the Star Trek convention is.
That would be convenient for you. That would be very
But I
convenient.
don't think I'm going to go to the convention.
I'm not gonna go. If I do, I mean, I maybe one day maybe learn something about Trek. Just be like, okay, maybe it's gonna be an educational purpose. But I don't feel worthy of going to that unless I had a really smart reason to go. But I
Derek,
want to
you
hang
were
with you
gonna say-
guys.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
definitely. Derek, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to say, Padre, if you ever get the chance, come to Dublin
I want to.
and I'll show you around. The last time
Yeah.
me and Paul went down, we covered 22 miles in the one day, going around the tourist stuff.
Ireland is
So
on the
that'll
list.
drop a few calories.
The only problem is I want to go to Ireland to do the family history research, but try finding Burke in 1790 Ireland. I don't think there'd be many records for that. But
Well, I'll find you. Don't worry.
Go ahead.
Send me DM me the details, and I'll dig
Well, I
into
got to
it.
get the money saved up for it.
Yeah, life
Actually,
costs
the thing
money.
is, would you American folks forget is Ireland's a small place, and everyone knows everyone else. So,
Oh, really? Is like that out there?
oh yes, guarantee you 7 degrees of separation doesn't matter here. Everyone knows everyone.
Wow, it be like that, huh? I like it. I like it a lot. All the more reason. Go there. Is the Guinness different over there? I hear the Guinness is
Actually
better.
is, because the pipes are different, and yes, gives a cleaner taste.
Ooh, man,
Guinness is
that
healthy.
alone's a reason.
Guinness is healthy too.
Seriously,
Aye, it's a lot of air.
am I about to get an education lesson?
Well, it's low calorie.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's
See,
like
I'm
100
learning this.
calories per pint.
Is that considered low?
Well, figuring that I'm a stout person, so if I buy
Oh,
something from the brewery, I think it's like maybe 170, 180 calorie. But Guinness is supposed to be lower.
Speaking of stouts, have you had the arrogant? The arrogant one. Do you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
All right, arrogant. I'll post it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah,
The one that
The
I
other funny
posted-
thing is too, in Northern Ireland, a stout fellow is a good person. If you understand what I'm saying, it doesn't mean you're fat or overweight or something. If you're a stout fellow,
Yeah.
it means you're a good person, which I like.
I think I've heard of it.
It's good.
I'll
It's
tell you the one
really
that I
good.
really liked, and I still remember it, was Samuel Smith Oatmeal Stout.
Oh, I remember Samuel Smith Oatmeal Stout. Yeah, that's a bit on the lighter to middle end. Really?
It
Or
was
did
so
you have a heavy
dark.
version?
It was so dark, I didn't know the bottle was cleared till I started pouring it,
Oh.
which is a sign of a
What?
good beer for me.
No, that is a sign of a good beer. See, I don't recall that. I feel like that was a lighter one. Maybe I might have my beers wrong. I'll tell you what, though, arrogant, that stuff is going to be, that's the stuff that takes the hair off your chest. Like, it don't play around. And they have another one, if you can find it. It's Stone Brewing's out of California. They have another one called the Lucky, but with the same second word. And if arrogant takes the hair, I'm messing up my words here. If arrogant puts hair on your chest, Lucky takes the hair back off it.
I'll tell you the one I really want bad is Yingling.
I've not had that.
Oh, it's my favorite. So I went to seminary in Philadelphia, so I was there for 4 years, and we actually visited the brewery. It's America's oldest brewery. And I was kidding with some people. It'd be kind of like to remake Smokey and the Bandit. Instead of Coors, they'd be smuggling Yingling.
Ooh, I like it. No, I like it. I like the sound of that. That's cool. That's really cool.
But they
I
just came to Texas.
Oh, do they really?
They're opening. They just announced they were coming to Texas.
Oh, and where are you located?
I'm in Nebraska.
You're in Nebraska. Okay, cool. How long have you been there?
Well, I moved here about 20 years ago to enter the seminary.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my home is originally in Iowa. So as I probably mentioned, I'm going to go visit Riverside in June because it's about 20 minutes from my parents' house, and it's where Kirk is from. So I figured I haven't been there in a few years. So might as well just go back and see it.
Make a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Do you know about
So-
Makokada Caves in Iowa?
I know that.
Oh,
My
you've been
sister-in-law's from
there.
No, I don't
What?
think I've been there, but my sister-in-law's from Makokada.
Okay, yeah. There's the Makokada Caves. It's it's a nature area, really,
Right.
really nice area. Went camping there once, and apparently it's not as well known as other areas, but those who know really like it, type of thing. I'm like, oh man, but I had so much fun though. Love that area. Absolutely love it.
Well, my grandmother is from Dubuque, if you know where that is.
I actually do. Wow. Actually, man, small world, really. Small world. Wow.
So, well, we're coming up to 15 minutes after the start time. I figure we probably should stop. That way we can catch the
Yeah.
intro. I just hope Gary will eventually put a little pause so if we get commercials, we don't miss anything.
Yeah, right.
See if I can set her up there.
So,
Bill Perry, champ. Eh?
I'm trying to see, what is that?
Oh, this was from a little standee for Common
okay.
America,
Oh, nice.
which they're on like volume 3 of theirs now, and it started out as a Captain Marvel parody.
Okay, now I'm sold off of that.
Well, I'll tell you the one I want to get. I just saw it. They did Oh, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been on a real spending. I've been on a bit of a spending spree. There's one 3 nights, 4 days. I backed.
What you back?
Okay. Deadpool. Let me bring that up.
3 knights return from the Crusades to find their home besieged by the forces of hell.
And that's a Deadpool book?
No,
Oh no, that was something totally different that I was backing.
Deadpool. Oh.
It's about China.
I want.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say China.
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 Okay, so I'm gonna click the end button, pop over to Friday Night Tights. We'll
All
see everybody.